I've been trolled in real life that Jwala cannot, play badminton. Now, social media, you don't even know who's behind that user ID, But so I have gone through all that. So now I became very thick-skinned very early on in my life. I encouraged Vishnu also to have a good relation with his ex-partner or wife, and we all are very happy today. When people ask me, why do you want a girl? I said, with today's the kind of world we are living in, we need strong women. When I was getting married the first time, my dad only told me that this is marriage, it's part of your life, it's not your life.
Champion on the court, and now she's creating this full, joyful life of it too. A family that's all hers, work she loves, days that feel right. She's someone who figured out that you can have more than one beautiful chapter, and this one, it's as beautiful as it can be. Welcoming Jwala Gutta, and this is her story of a second sunrise. Welcome to Second Sunrises. Jwala, this show is to celebrate the courage it takes to take the step again. With you, so many chapters in your life and your achievements as a badminton player, as an athlete, and bringing so much pride to India, the country itself. I think you're the right person to talk about Second Sunrise. Let's start from the very beginning. You were born in Maharashtra and raised in Hyderabad.
Yes.
So, and father is a Telugu speaking person and your mother's Chinese. How was your childhood?
I mean, I think I had a pretty busy childhood. Like when I was born, I'm the first daughter of my dad's side family, and it was kind of my dad was a little surprised with the kind of welcome I got. They were like, not too condescending, but it was like, okay, better, like next time,
Same story?
Yeah.
Like all of us?
Yeah. So my dad was quite surprised because he had 3 other siblings who were, women, and he never expected that kind of feeling around a newborn, especially his. And my dad was then doing MSc Organic Chemistry in Wardha, wherever I was born, Sevagram. And he had done that, and then he was working in Reserve Bank in Nagpur. And my mom was in Wardha with me, and that's when I think he decided that I will not, bring her up like just anybody. And he wanted to do something different, and he was always interested in sports.
So tennis,
badminton.
Badminton at 6, but I believe you wanted to play tennis.
No, actually, any sport. For my dad, it was any sport, but she'll do sports. And from the age of 4, I started doing gymnastics, swimming. Because when I went to badminton, my coach said that I was too young to hold a racket. We did try tennis initially. But my mom was like, like other moms, every mom, she'll get tanned, the racket is too heavy.
Okay.
I want her to be, in a sport where she doesn't lose her femininity. That was her worry. And so I was pushed to badminton.
Rightly pushed, because 14 national championships that you won, doubles, and several partners, one after the other. You were the constant, but your partners kept changing. You remember your partners?
I have won with everybody. That's what, when, I don't, the thing is with my sport, what happened, the kind of habit I inculcated was to move on. I moved on very quick. So whether I lose, I never got depressed and, beat my head the whole night. I never did that. I went back home or to my hotel room, eat, and I slept very well when I lost a match. And when I won also, we celebrated, but it was not like, oh my God, this is the end of the world now, I've won, I'm the queen, or I'm the champion, or, because I knew that there was another tournament coming up next week. So I didn't have the time to even celebrate. So that kind of I move on very fast. So sometimes I feel it's not good, but I think for the majority part of my life, I think it has only saved me from a lot of, I could have, gone into a shell, with a lot of things which has happened in my life. But I think because of my sport and what I learned from it, I moved on very fast.
So when you talk to your partners, we always wonder like what you say to each other, like this covering your mouth and then pumping even when you lose a shot.
Yeah. So I was always, the leader and the strategy, the strategic, partner of the two always. And I somehow used to, I was known for my observation, I was known for my strategies, and I was always telling my partner where to serve and what to do, because I was always also the tall one, so I could also spot, and I could read the body language very well.
Okay.
That is also
so
one
being
of the
tall
things.
was advantage for badminton?
Advantage and disadvantage.
What was the disadvantage?
I have to bend a lot. My partner cannot see if she's, she or even the guy if he's, behind. And I had to work a little more harder than my other partner, because when you're not very tall, your center of gravity is, good.
Yes.
You don't lose balance. When you're tall, then you have to work really hard on your legs, and the nature doesn't gift you with good strong legs.
So which was easier, playing with a female partner or a male partner?
I enjoyed both, telling you very frankly, but for me, I used to love challenges, and the challenges to play against a man in front.
Yes, yeah.
Because I was always looked down upon, oh, she's a woman, so for me it was like I'm challenging a guy. So for
the challenge
me
is coming from that side, not from here.
So for me, I really enjoyed mixed doubles, because for me it's like I'm able to return a man's smash or a shot which is much faster than me.
Yes.
So, and when he's not able to take my shot, so I used to kind of get
it's a double success, isn't it? A double victory.
Yeah.
Why not cinema? Because your aunt Halam was my uncle's heroine in Motherhood, and she acted in so many Telugu and Tamil films, and she was such a beautiful woman, very sophisticated. I still remember her complexion because
even now she even at this age she dresses up like a cinema
Why
artist.
not cinema?
I don't know. I've never. I think movie you have to be some other.
I think you were not visible. You were like too busy with badminton.
No, it's not. I got a lot of offers, but somehow I don't think I was made for movies. Especially, I feel movies is very underrated. I mean, people see the glamour side, but it's a lot of hard work. It's a 24 hours work, and mentally also. For me, my badminton used to give me good 10 hours of training. And then I used to just shut myself. I could shut myself. But movies are different, especially now I'm married to an actor. Yes. I really appreciate what all of you do.
Thank you so much. I still remember your grandfather, that is Halam's father. Srinivas. We used to shoot in Halam Gardens even as late as 90s.
Yes.
And he would come and tell us about the greatness of the land and the
land
soil
and
environmental. He was very, very conscious. Do you remember spending time in the farm?
I remember that farm especially because there was a hill behind and all of our cousins, we used to gather there, and then we used to have a race up to the hill, and I have some memories a little bit here and there.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we couldn't save that land. They had to give up their lands.
Oh, that's such a shame. Yeah. I was just asking, do you still have it?
I just went last week with my dad, and now they've made plots and residential.
So many songs were shot there.
A lot of roses, I remember.
Yes,
a lot of coconut trees.
Yes, coconut trees. And paddy field.
Paddy, I don't remember. Roses, I remember very well.
Paddy was there.
He used to love roses, my grandfather.
He used to come and sit talk about life to all of us. And he was without any inhibitions. And he named all his children after the plough.
Halam,
Halam, Balam.
Balam, every,
You
like a
tell me
very
that.
revolutionary
Very
names.
revolutionary
Yes,
person.
yes.
Yeah, very.
Nastikam, one of my
Yeah.
uncle is called Nastikam, Samarsam,
Yeah.
and Balam.
And
And
your
there's
father is called
6.
Kranti.
Kranti is Jwala. So
Jwala, yes.
basically, I was named because my dad is Kranti means revolution, and Jwala, the torch bearer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, when you settle for a relationship, you kind of choose somebody who's from the same field as you are, and
Correct.
Are you settling for a comfort zone in the beginning of your, youth?
No, I think when I was married once,
Yeah,
so I was basically ఏంటంటే it's like you're in the same career, so
Yes.
you are also ambitious, and then you think that when you marry the same person, your career also will flourish, because he probably will understand
Yeah.
the work and the ambition, the goals, which
Yeah.
probably even he has and I have.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works, sometimes
Yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, we all are all very positive and hopeful. We don't realize that no partnership is forever. Brothers fight with each other for property, and so many parents give up children. Say I can't do anything for you. So when did you know, as a sports person and as a woman, that partnerships are not forever?
I kind of, for me, in my case, I kind of realized it in a year. And then, but again, I had that social, pressure,
Yeah.
like how every woman has. And then nobody gets into a marriage to, break it.
Yeah,
You want
nobody
to,
does that, yes.
but then I kind of understood that my career was being hampered, and I was in sports or my profession since the age of 4. And at the age of 22, to leave all the hard work and only dedicate myself to the marriage, I thought was a little unfair to the work I had done, all my childhood. And so I had to make a decision.
So when you made a decision for yourself,
I did.
and you wanted to find your own footing, too much noise around. How did you shut the noise that was around you?
Because I was very clear that as long as my parents don't question me and my decision, I think nobody else's opinion would matter to me. So I was very clear.
How do you hold the balance? Because today social media, a person says
I think I've had enough of practice in real life.
Okay.
I've been trolled in real life that Jwala cannot play badminton.
Yeah.
My seniors have come up to my face and laughed at me. Now social media, you don't even know who's behind that user ID. But so I have gone through all that. So now I became very thick-skinned very early on in my life.
For sports people and achievers, your skill, your talent, and your profession is your only friend. So in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to help. So did Mother Badminton come to help? Was it a refuge?
For me, as I said, years of criticism for me since childhood. Like when my dad told me that when I was born, it was not received well. So all that kind of made me very strong-headed. And it was only me, my dad, and my coach. So as long as these two were with me, I did not let any... Yes, I had my time where, I wanted to give up. But then again, when you just sit back and look back and like, oh my God, I gave almost 10, 12 years already. You don't want to, give up. You just have to just sleep it over and then, come back. So I'm very lucky also that I had a good, strong set of parents who were like, you do whatever, we will not, come in your way or will not question you. We are just there to support you. And I've been very lucky, actually.
And meeting Vishnu, that face and He was also a cricketer. He still plays cricket, I think, for
A little
CCL.
bit, little
Does
bit.
he play for
Yeah.
CCL? I think
Yeah.
I've seen him play for
Yeah.
CCL.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the sports connect and the cinema
Cinema.
from the past.
I don't know. It just happened. It
Mm.
was, I think as a person, me and him, we are very similar. You know, our core is very, we are very similar when we think or, talk about something. Our goals in life is also, I like it that he's very ambitious, and that probably attracted me towards him.
So
I like people who are ambitious, and
he's in Chennai and you were in Hyderabad. So how did you meet?
we worked very hard. I had to work a little more harder because, understandably, my career was almost, done after 2016 Olympics. I kind of wanted to just, stop playing. And he was just coming up, and I only thought it was a good break for me also to
For
keep
him,
coming to Chennai.
Okay, for him also it was a second sunrise
Correct.
for him. And how did you both build the trust between each other and the understanding? How did you arrive at it?
For me, because a divorce or a separation was never a taboo, because
Yes.
I have gone through it. My aunt has gone through it. My dad's sisters, and there are a lot of people around me who have gone through it. I think, and I also have seen a lot of world. People don't realize, as a sports person, playing at the top level, my world and my interaction with people is much more than a common person, a common woman, you can say. I have to deal with when I go to tournaments, then there are these felicitations, and then this program, I meet the politicians, I meet corporate people,
Yes.
I meet all kinds of people,
Powerful people, yes.
Yeah, and then for me, that a small phase of anybody's life is very small. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
And then when he and me started to talk, and then I came to know that he was very ambitious. He wanted to do something, and I like the kind of movies he, chooses,
Yes, absolutely.
and the kind of, I feel a very sensible, a very generous guy, which a lot of people don't know about him. And when I came to know the kind of hard work he was putting in, so all that was the factor which kind of attracted me towards him.
Okay, when you're going through the first sunrise, everything happens like organically or as expected. But during second sunrise, there are a lot of, fast forward that happens, because before you become a biological mother, you're already a mother. So
Correct.
you have to deal with children too.
Correct.
So how do children see you? How do you see those children?
I love children. All my friends, their children, they love me. They look at me like their mother. My best friend's, daughter, I'm her godmother, So I love children. I had, and Vishnu already had a son, and, if you ask Aryan today, I'm his very good friend, and he calls me Jay, and we have a very good relationship.
Okay.
And and I encouraged Vishnu also to have a good relation with his ex-partner or wife. And we all are very happy today.
And now Meera has arrived.
Yeah.
In 1960s, when I was born,
Yeah.
I believe everybody looked at the cradle and said, "Oh, third time daughter again." They said, "I thought it'll change in your time, but you're saying they did the same."
No.
But for Meera, it's different, isn't it?
Definitely different. I want her. I think I was very happy. I also had an intuition when I was pregnant that
It'll be a girl.
Yeah. And then when people ask me, why do you want a girl? I think I said, with today's, the kind of world we are living in, we need strong women. We need strong women who are leaders. And I'm hoping to raise her like one.
Yeah. What is the path that you are looking at? Are you deciding already, or you'll go with the flow and decide?
When everybody says that let the child decide whether she or he want to play a sport, my only question to that person is, did you ask your child before putting him or her in a school? Do you ask a child before taking him or her to a temple? You don't ask. you just do it because you think that is the right way. So I feel that I will put Mira in sports, and whether she takes it up as a profession or not later, after 18, that it is, she'll be old enough to decide. But I think today, the way the world is going, the way the youth is so much involved in phones and social media and so much unnecessary exposure, I think sports will keep her away from it, keep her busy and tire her out physically, and so that she has a good night's sleep at night. That's what I'm thinking.
Slightly crazy questions. Does sports keep boys away from girls?
No.
No?
No.
I always thought that
No.
athletes take time to fall in love and...
Not really, but then then there will be a time where you have to choose whether your hard work is, your love life is coming in the way.
Yeah.
Then you have to make a career choice. I think it's there in every profession.
Yeah, I thought athletes
No, girls
delay
and
falling
boys,
in love.
we play together. There is,
Okay.
so
Okay.
you can't stop the nature.
Chemistry, we can't stop the chemistry.
And it's natural, and
Okay.
you cannot stop. And also, I think athletes are very, the rush, the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
So you can't stop it.
So I saw Meera. She looks beautiful. She looks lovely, and she looks
Thank
happy.
you. Yeah.
But will she know at some point what you went through to conceive her and to deliver her?
I might tell her.
You might tell her at some point.
Yeah, because I think again it's part of life.
Yes.
And many people go through it. There's nothing extraordinary I have done. I just did what I felt, and I think it was at the right time, because I didn't want to have a child at the time of my career, and then my parents or a nanny taking care of the baby, and I'm not there. So I think I had the baby a little late in my life, and it was absolutely my choice and my my decision. And I'm very happy. I'm able to give her all my time. I'm enjoying this phase.
Yeah.
And it is.
So, if you don't mind, can we talk about Aamir?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's a good person and he keeps in touch with me.
Yes.
And he's somebody who'll always return calls and
Yes,
be
yes.
ready to be there for
Yes,
you.
yes.
And he was there for you.
Yes,
And
yes.
Vishal, probably because Vishnu, Vishal and you were there for him. So can
I
you
mean,
tell us about that?
Yeah, but the thing, Aamir is a very dear friend. Now, I think we're families.
Yeah.
I'm more close to his mom and his sister.
Mhm.
And Aamir is also a sports lover, if
Yes.
you know.
And he's also a quiz master, I
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
That he's very good
So
at
when I
quizzing.
played my 2010 Commonwealth Games and I won the gold medal, after that I was just walking to my room and I was getting a phone number or an unknown number on my phone. I just picked up and it was Aamir. He somehow got my number and he called me to, congratulate me. And he saw my match on TV. And since then, we were friends. But then in between, as everybody, whoever knows Aamir, he lost touch.
Yeah.
He stopped using phone.
Yes.
And then we met again here in Chennai in one of the movie function. And since then, we kind of started talking to each other. And then, of course, now Vishnu talks to him more because
Yeah.
they're from the same...
I saw Vishnu taking him during the floods, like...
Yeah, I was there. I
You
was,
were also
I was
there.
on the boat taking pictures.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I saw the two of them.
Yeah.
And I think he supported you through your pregnancy. And
Yeah, so he and Kiran had gone through some problems in their, pregnancy, and so he kind of, when he had Azad after that, and then he told me that you have to go to I wanted to take a break from IVF. I had done my IVF. I had good 2 embryos, and then I was not happy with the results, but I wanted to take a break, and then Aamir is like, no, you're not taking a break. You are meeting. I said, okay, I'll meet after a month. I'm just like, Then he's like, no, you have to stay here. You have to. And no, I was like, I was also very apprehensive to go to Bombay and do my IVF again. Then you have to stay in a hotel, and then Then he's like, no, you're staying at home. You'll be with, in my house. You don't worry about anything. My guard will take care of you, my driver. And then, yeah, rest is history.
Really?
Went to Bombay, stayed there almost, stayed there almost 20-30 days at a stretch. So like that, about 10 months. And then went for
very
my...
rare relationships like this are really, people should know
Yeah,
about
very
it.
rare, and it just happened. Everything
Lovely.
just fell in place, and just worked out for me. Yeah, and she was not even a good embryo.
Yeah.
Meera was.
She's going to be strong. She's going to be strong. She's going to be your champion.
Actually, my doctor in Bombay, she said, I want you to go for another round of IVF, and my mom and Vishnu were like, no, let's just transfer whatever embryo is there, And then, last year, August, not last year, I think previous year, August, and then I got pregnant.
That's lovely. That's really lovely.
Yeah.
I told you Meera's life is going to be different. She's going to be bold and courageous. But you were, in your time, you talked about against body shaming in your heydays. So how did you, today we talk about it, but you talked about it long back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm infamous for speaking, my heart out.
Because others don't want to talk about it.
Not others, I think women, when they speak, it's not, first of all, it's not taken very seriously.
Yes.
And women who speak, we also live in a very visually judgmental society.
Absolutely.
And when a decently good-looking woman speaks, that's even more hurtful, And then a lot of judgments comes in. How can she speak? How is she able to speak? Who is supporting her? Or how is she winning without our support? Or how is she successful without our support? So all these questions, I could feel it, and somehow, I don't know, my dad kind of has raised me more than me. I think my dad is a feminist, and he's the first feminist I have come across, and he never stopped me from questioning his decisions or whatever he did in his life. So he's like, if you think that I'm wrong, you should be able to talk to me as well. So we never had that kind of a barrier at home. So my thought was, when my dad and my mom are not, stopping me or not judging me, I mean, how does it matter what others say? Because I have to come back home and they're raising me, and I live with them. So I was just, I don't know, I was raised like that. And that being bold has always saved me, I think, saved me from a lot of trouble.
An athlete
also gotten me into a lot of trouble.
but do you feel happy when women voice their opinion in the sports field today?
Have to. I mean, we have to. If I don't fight for my right, my neighbor will not come and fight for me. And it's very unfortunate today that I still don't see that kind of voicing out.
There should be more.
And then if another athlete is speaking, I think she also needs support. You should also speak in support.
Yes,
we are one unit, and we are the minority genders. If we don't support each other, I mean, tomorrow if you're in trouble, nobody else would. So I'm still a little with this social media, the kind of social media we have today. It should be giving us strength, but I still don't see many people speaking.
I'm sure role models like you will definitely encourage people.
A lot of things have to. I think a lot of things play their part, and there's a lot of fear of trolling and fear of I don't know, but I think women should definitely voice out. We need more women in powerful positions as well.
We need. Talking about success, for an athlete, it starts from round one. The tension and anxiety starts from round one down to 4, and then the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then the final. It goes on like that. So what does that kind of success mean to you? Is it still like that? You're going round by round in life?
I mean, I'm still, as I said, my career has taught me, not to take everything and just sit back. I've been a successful badminton player, but I know that badminton is not the only thing I should be doing my whole life, or I can't do badminton my whole life. So then after that, now, I made my academy.
Yeah, you have your
Yeah,
academy.
I have
So
my academy.
you're creating
Yeah,
champions.
champions. More than that, what I've realized that I'm able to give employment. That has kind of given me a lot of inner peace. With my academy, I'm able to give employment to 30, 40 other, human beings, and that has kind of given me a lot of satisfaction, more than children training, telling you very frankly. So yeah, and if academy is successful, next, I know I will not settle. I know I'll do something else. Right now, I'm just taking care of Mira. This is my motherhood phase I'm going through, and I have good people taking care of the academy and supporting me. My dad was also part
So
of
if you go back and think in your timeline, Mira and her peers, when they grow up, so which are the proud moments for you in your timelines that you want them to emulate?
I think proud moment is when, when I've almost 20 years, I did not miss a single session of practice. So that is a proud moment for me, more than winning. I was consistent, I was regular, and that kind of gave me the result which you're seeing. So I will probably teach her about consistency. I think that's very important. And second is when I went to the High Court against my association, and I went alone. I had no mom, dad. I went there, I mean, it was an experience. That was an experience. It was very filmy, but it was an experience.
That is one thing that you want her to remember.
100%. I'll tell her about it. And then in the end, I think we need everyone. Definitely, we need everyone to support us in our life, like, have a driver, house help, everything. But you are also alone in your journey, and you need to motivate yourself. You can't be waiting for someone else to motivate you.
Absolutely.
And I hope that she also inspires other people, and I think that'll be good enough.
It's been wonderful talking to you. We're almost coming to the end of this talk. I just want you to go back in the time machine and talk to your younger self. And if you were talking to her, would you kind of give her confidence for facing challenges, and would you take the fear out of not finding happiness to her?
My younger self, I would tell her that, we were taught then that you be good and good will come back. I don't think, it was a very naive kind of thing to say or to even think then. World in a especially a competitive world, everything is not very smooth, and you need to know more than just badminton is what I would teach her. Definitely, because even till date, the only thing I knew and I did was play badminton. But there's so many other factors which kind of, try to hamper my career. So if I was a little more, I think, know how to, you can say, diplomacy. If I learned a little bit, it would have been good for my career. I think so. Yeah.
Depends on whether she accepts it or not.
Yeah, but I really feel that I was very naive, and because my dad always told me, don't run after anything. It'll all come if you work hard. But I don't think it's all true. I think I've really faced the real world. And unfortunately, I think I also came up around the time when tabloids had started to make a mark in our country. Appudarku, I don't think there's that page 3 news and all of that. So I should have been a little more cautious, I feel.
Seen.
Yeah.
Than just played.
Play and yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be that naive. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So we've come to the end of our beautiful, wonderful
Yeah.
talk about second sunrises. So if I ask you to describe the second sunrise in one sentence, what would it be?
Second sunrise will definitely happen if you don't, if you're not obsessed about one thing. You know, when I was getting married the first time, my dad only told me that this is marriage, it's part of your life, it's not your life. And badminton, it's part of your life, it's not your life. So I was, I think that kind of helped me to see my second sunrise, second, third, fourth, and life goes on. You have to be positive, you have to be hopeful. I think that's the way of life.
Thank you so much, Jwala. Thank you so much. It was
so
really
much.
wonderful talking to you.
Thank you
Such
for
an
having
achiever,
me.
but you're so down to earth and
Thank you.
open, and
Thank you.
told us so many things that you haven't told anybody else. Thank you for that.
Thank
and
you
good
so
luck
much.
with Meera and your academy
Thank
and
you.
with Vishnu Vishal's films.
Yeah, thank you so much.